Hey, I'm the Dr. Bob Lee. Welcome, 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 welcome to Open. And we've got another fantastic show coming up. Today, we'll speak to a principal who has made a significant impact on the success of school, and her efforts have ensured a secure learning environment for students to thrive. And then we'll speak to a dementia care specialist who will highlight how his organization is honoring caregiver champions. Yeah, they're champions. And we're going to honor them this fall. Plus, we'll hear from a doctor, author, and founder of an organization that is helping others achieve wellness, and also highlight her latest book on turning six-figure debt into seven-figure success. Then finally, we'll speak to a national best-selling, award-winning artist and author about her upcoming science fiction and comic culture convention. So sit back, kick off your shoes, and relax your feet. We're wide open. Here we go. Mumamouth.com. Hey, how you doing, everybody? I'm the Dr. Bob Lee from 107.5 WBLS, and you're watching Open. It's that live, interactive program that brings the Bronx and New York City straight to your TV set. You can stay connected to us through social media at BronxNet TV. Leading things off, our first guest is an educator with over 20 years of experience, currently serving as the Master New York City Bronx Principal at Fordham Leadership Academy. She shares she has the insight into the school's mission and the opportunities it provides for students. So please welcome to the show, Fiorella Cabrejos. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So you're at that school. We call it FLA, right? FLA.
FLA. That's right. FLA. Every day FLA.
Oh, okay. I wish I had a fillet of something. Kind of hungry. But listen, tell us about some of the work that you're doing over at the school.
So this is my ninth year as a principal at Fordham Leadership.
Yes.
Our school has come a very long way. I took over the school in July of 2015. It was a school community that was at the brink of closure at the time, and through professional collaboration, strategic redesign of all of our practices, we have been able to transform our community into a thriving high school where children are not just graduating. Graduating high school is not enough. They're really being prepared for college and career. We have expanded all of our programs to build that connection between theory, what they're learning inside the classroom, to how it operates in the real world. And so we're very excited about where our school is and where it's heading. We have several career programs that are part of the experience for kids, and we continue to move up and up.
Well, listen, we thank you and appreciate you for all the wonderful work that you're doing. Yeah, you're a champion for us. Yes, you're educating our youth. You're doing some great work in the edification of young minds. But I also heard that you were working to destroy apathy, complacency, and systematic oppression and poverty. What are some of the steps that you're taking to get that started?
So complacency is something that is the enemy, I believe, in the work that we do, especially when it comes to schools. Once we reach a certain point of growth and progress, right, it's very easy
Yeah.
to just continue to use the same formula. And you know what? Every day kids come in, they're happy, they're learning, but what else can we do, right? And a lot of it begins with what can we do better? How can we examine our practices at our school? Our children are receiving quality instruction is not just about passing recess exams, but how can we prepare them for rigorous academic experiences and to be ready for post-secondary options.
Yeah.
And so a part of that is strategically partnering with colleges and universities, strategically creating spaces for children to begin career opportunities now. We are a part of Future Ready,
Uh-huh.
as well as CRMYA with New York City. And in these places, our kids have the opportunity to take college courses, beginning in
Yeah.
high school, working on certification for software engineering. We have students that are currently not in internships, but are a part of apprenticeships with different organizations across the city. One of them is NYPD, another one is the Department of Health Services. They're actually in an apprenticeship
Yeah.
for the next 2 years, and they're not just receiving a stipend, they're actually getting a salary. So these are opportunities that are part of how we're breaking barriers and dismantling obstacles for our children here in the Bronx.
How do you describe the overall school culture?
We are a school that is warm, it is nurturing, but it's also grounded on very high
Uh-huh.
expectations. High expectations that not only are centered on academic excellence, but also in social emotional wellness. We have a whole child mission, and that mission is grounded and rooted on the fact that the adults in the school are doing everything that we can to
Yeah.
provide that experience. Instruction is how you prepare yourself academically, but that's not enough. You also need all of these other skill sets, these habits of mind, and routines that can prepare you to tackle on the challenges of the real world.
Yeah. And you prepare them for college or the workforce, right? And you have that follow-up program going on?
College and career readiness beginning in the ninth grade. In grades 9 through 10, our scholars are in a pre-AP track. We also have our own set of advanced placement courses. We have partnerships with organizations like Equity Lab so that our scholars can have additional advanced placement college courses with universities across the country in a virtual synchronous and asynchronous setting,
Yeah.
in addition to having a robust college advisory program with two college advisors, college and career counselors.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned in the beginning that they were ready to close this school down, and then you came in and you were part of a reawakening, sort of, kind of, right? What do you find most rewarding about being a school principal?
The most rewarding part of my job is that I know that the work that we're doing is going to have a long-term impact in not just the lives of our current scholars, but their communities, their families. We're talking about generations of families, of children that are going to break out of persistent cycles of poverty, persistent cycles of underdevelopment. And it is a privilege to me to be a part of their journey. It is a privilege that I take with me everywhere I go. I'm a very proud Bronx principal.
Principal Cabrejos, is there anything coming up that we should know about? And how do students get involved in your school? I mean, how do they qualify to become a student at your school?
So my school, believe it or not, is not a specialized screen school, although we're one of the top high schools in District 10.
Yeah.
And so you just have to apply, and you have to have a willingness to do the heavy lifting. We're here for you. We have children that are coming from diverse academic backgrounds, from over 30 plus middle schools every year. We have about 3,000 applicants per year for 120 seats. And it is because of the fact that no matter where you're coming from and what academic experiences have brought you to the point where you are now, our job and our commitment is to transform you to be ready for what life has to offer post high school, and that is our mission. So you just got to be a Bronx child who attends New York City public schools or just wants to attend a New York City high school, and you just have to apply.
There you go. All right. How's the graduation rate? Are you?
Graduation rate is 100%. We have our stats, right, are everywhere.
You guys
But
make the grade, all right.
as I mentioned earlier, graduating high school is not enough. It is not enough.
Yeah.
We are committed to preparing every scholar for college and career readiness. Our goal is to ensure that they're not just aware of the opportunities, that they're not just applying, but that they are sustaining a successful post-high school career in
Yeah.
college and in the field of their choice. And
Is
that's
it-
the work. That's every day.
Yeah, it's a work in progress, and you guys are doing a fantastic job with here. What is your vision? What do you envision for the future? What would you like to, the next thing that you would like to change to make the school a little bit more successful?
I want to expand on the number of partnerships for career industries and university partners to have our children afforded the opportunity to see themselves out in the real world. The learning doesn't just happen inside the classroom, so the more partnerships that we have, the more of the type of exposure that is required to be truly college and career ready that people have. And that is our goal.
Beautiful. Where can we go for more information? Social media, website?
Fordham Leadership.com is our website.
Mm-hmm.
And we are on Instagram at Fordham Leadership and on X at Fordham Leaders 1.
There you go. Fiorella Cabrejos, Principal, Fordham Leadership Academy. We call it FLA. That's the
Excellent.
flavor. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us. And good
All right.
luck over there. All right. God bless. All right. We'll take another break. I've got more open. We're going to continue doing this until it's through right here on Open.
Only 57% of New York City high school students are college ready by their senior year. "55% of high school graduates either have no plans to attend college or are uncertain that they will ever attend. "34% of young adults don't go to college because they can't afford it. Discover what's possible. BronxNet's education programs, internships, and opportunities help engage and inspire Bronx youth and beyond to pursue their passions. Be a part of the BronxNet family. Whether you're interested in our shows, joining a class, or donating to support our mission, visit bronxnet.org to learn more.
19.7% of Bronxites currently experience food insecurity. Meanwhile, instead of these nice, colorful foods, this is the best food that they have access to. If this sounds like you, there are a bunch of resources to get healthy food for free or cheap. If you want to help, you might consider donating or volunteering in one of these places. Community fridges like this one are all over the city and allow New Yorkers to conveniently donate extra food to people who might need it. Go to this link and find your nearest one. Food banks and pop-up events like these provide millions of healthy meals to families in need. These organizations are distributing meals to Bronxites as we speak and are always accepting donations and volunteers.
And welcome back. Our next guest is a dementia specialist and a care specialist for CaringKind. He joins us to speak about how CaringKind, the city's leading expert on dementia and Alzheimer's, is shining a light on caregivers because it's Caregivers Awareness Month and Alzheimer's Awareness Month. So we'll talk to him about that and so much more. So please welcome to the show, Dante Tipiani. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Dante
Thank you, Bob.
Tipiani
How
is
are
in the
you?
house.
Thank you.
Nice to see
Thank
you.
you. Likewise, how are you?
Great, great. So you got that wonderful banner behind. I like the T-shirt. I like the colors and everything. Tell us a little bit about the Caring Kind.
Yes, thank you for having me and good morning to everybody. CaringKind is one of the oldest not-for-profit organization that focuses on providing care and support for families impacted by Alzheimer's or any type of dementia. And we are we want to be your the leading in helping family members in caring for people who are taking care of dementia, um, family members or loved ones. And what we want to do here, we want to bring awareness. Last month in November was the National Caregiver Awareness Month for Alzheimer's. And what we want to do, we want to honor the unsung heroes of caregiving, and we stand by them. At
Yeah.
Caring Kind, we recognize this and we want to give back to the community.
Yeah. Although, it was last month. I mean, it's every day. It's every day that we have to deal with Alzheimer's and dementia. Tell us about some of those services and the role that you play with Caring Kind.
Absolutely. Some of the services are one-to-one sessions that we have with family members to help them with caring challenges, with caring giving challenges. We have small groups, programs. We have educational seminars and webinars and trainings. We also have special events throughout the year. The
Hmm.
first thing that I do specifically is help family members, whether it's just talking to them, giving them advice about how to manage difficult behavior and care for the person they love.
And I see something that says a palliative, what is it, palliative
Palliative
care?
care.
Oh, there it is.
Yep. Yes. So we also provide a lot. We provide resources. We provide information, and we partner with community-based organizations
Hmm.
to disseminate information and to bring awareness, specifically not only about the early stage of dementia, but throughout the person's journey. And palliative care and hospice care is care that's very important at the end of life.
What do families need to know about maybe some of the things that they see that maybe their mother or father or somebody older person in their family is having? Do they need to know some of the symptoms so they can contact somebody like your organization?
Absolutely. We have signs. We have the 10 signs of dementia, or signs that should be red flags when someone is concerned about their memory. And what we usually say is, if you're concerned about your memory, have an evaluation done. There are diagnostic centers throughout New York City and in the Bronx to learn more about what's going on. Have an evaluation done.
Yeah. And you guys are also honoring some of the unsung heroes of caregiving.
Yes.
How's that being done?
So before I tell you a little bit about that, I just wanted to give you a quote from a
Okay.
family member. And they said that caring kind helps us learn to swim in waters we've never swam before. We did this through our family support and education
Yeah.
services. So this is a new journey. This is a new experience when someone is diagnosed with dementia. And what we do is we help them swim these different waters.
Yeah.
We help them in their journey. And part of that is we're inviting family caregivers champions. So we have a caregiver champion program, and it's a collective of devoted individuals who are forming the bedrock of these efforts, who are impacted by dementia and Alzheimer's. And we're having this unique opportunity to allow us to nominate someone, or you can nominate yourself to be part of this program, this class of 2023, through our online nomination program. So what part throughout November and beyond. And now we encourage individuals to share their compelling caregiver story.
Hmm.
And they could do this whether they want to write it down or do a video format and illustrate why this caregiver is devoting the recognition as a caregiver champion.
Yeah, it's a tough job. It's not easy. I mean, you probably need somebody to care for you while you're caring for others. You know,
It's
I know a number of people who went through it, and after a while, they get run down too, and they need a break. And they need somebody to recognize who they are and maybe give them some loving, tender loving care also.
respite care and self care is very important for all of us. Me personally, I've been doing this for over 20 years and I experienced this personally with my family. And it is a tough, tough job.
Yeah,
And something that's very important that other people should know is that you're not alone. Other people are there for you.
yeah. And you also have a caregiver champion, caregiver champion program. Talk about that.
So the Caregiver Champion program offers caregivers a chance to celebrate, support, and empower while making a difference in the lives of those affected by Alzheimer's and other dementias. What we're trying to, we want to enrich the experience that providing a sense of purpose and a supportive community to learn on what to do and how this is this journey, this caregiving journey is.
Hmm.
We want to recognize them and have this bring awareness to these families.
And then you have some fun things too. You had a fashion show. Everybody got involved. They got busy. They put on their gear, their fashions, and
Yes,
got out there and did their thing. Talk about that.
yes. So last month we celebrated um, some of our caregiver champions, and so we hosted a fashion show to honor them,
Uh huh.
and we honored 25 caregivers at that event.
Yeah. That was the big luncheon, right?
Yes,
Yeah. It went well.
it went very well, very well. Uh, the stories that were told from other family members who have experienced and are experiencing caregiving and the challenges that come with it were amazing.
What would you tell people who would want to get involved in caregiving or get involved with Caring Kind?
Well, first I would say that it's important to recognize you are taking care of someone with dementia. Uh, and if you want to get involved, I encourage you to call our helpline, which is 646-744-2900, and learn more about everything we do. I gave you a very brief overview, but in a nutshell, Caring Kind offers help for those in early stage of dementia, for their families, and for professionals. We provide this information in English, in Spanish, and Chinese. And Bob, everything is free.
Everything is free, and it's a special thing to get involved with somebody else's life who's maybe not as up on things as they should be, because things happen in life. People get older, and they need help and need our help. So that's why we have people like and organizations like Caring Kind. Thank you guys for
Yes.
all you do. Thank you for your service. Any special stories that you can tell? Anybody come back and highlight anything that helps somebody to reach a level that they need to reach to survive, to live a better life?
Well, I speak to so many people and I have so many stories. One story comes into mind of a wife who's caring for her husband, and this is a new role. So she is dealing with the changes in 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 being a spouse, but also being a caregiver. And we at Caring Kind help them through this journey as things change, as roles change, and challenges are thrown, and
Mm.
how to better cope with managing someone with this disease. And there are tons of information. There's tons of resources in the
Yeah.
community, and we partner with these community-based organizations to provide this.
Within the palliative care, do they have anything like in the medical world that helps them with the dementia and Alzheimer's?
That's a great
Anything new coming
question.
out?
Well, as far as palliative care, yeah, before I was at CaringKind, I'm a social worker by training, and I worked in an inpatient palliative care and hospice unit, and I think there is a lot that is going on where the focus of palliative or a palliative approach is to increase comfort, decrease pain, and maximize the quality of life for someone, and a lot of people. Uh, aren't aware of that and the utilization of this service before they reach hospice care. So there's a lot of education that we provide as well, a lot of training, but more so education on just what is palliative care, what is hospice, and what are the differences between them. And there's
Yeah,
a lot of new advances coming up.
that's good. Anything coming up that we should know about? Any events or anything that you guys are doing?
Well, we have ongoing educational seminars about just understanding the basics of what is dementia. Every month we have seminars on Zoom. We also have seminars about the legal, the financial part of caregiving, and Medicaid home care. Because as the disease progresses, there's a lot of changes and needs that families need to help someone with dementia, and that's where you have to start talking about finances and talk about who's going to help you as a caregiver, so you won't go through this alone.
Listen, thank you so much for coming in and sharing, and you're always welcome to come back, all right? Dante Tipiani,
Thank you so
caring
much,
kind.
Bob.
You're welcome, my brother.
Take care.
MSW, Dementia Care Specialist, Caring Kind. We appreciate you. We'll take a quick break. I've got more to share next on Open. And welcome back. Our next guest is a board-certified obstetrician, gynecologist, and the founder of Cornerstone of Wellness, LLC, and an author. She joins us to speak about her latest book, On the Other Side of Greatness, lessons on the journey from six figures to seven, all right? Seven figures. It's a beautiful thing to come out of six figures of debt to seven figures of success. So please welcome to the show, Dr. Tawanna Gilliard. Tawanna, welcome.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bob. I'm excited about being here, and thank you again for bringing me on your show.
Oh, you're welcome. Now, how do you come out of all of that, from six figures of debt to seven figures of success?
With a lot of hard work. And
I know that's right.
so the title of the book, it's catchy. People grab it, and because people are like, oh, let me see what she did. What are the tricks? What did she do? Like let me do that. And I wrote the book because it really tells my journey from almost committing suicide because of the debt. It talks about me being afraid to tell others of the debt. And I realized that because I am a doctor, people look at the title and they have a lot of assumptions that we have these marvelous lives and we don't have any issues, that we make all this money. And so I wrote the book because I think it's an injustice for us to die with our testimonies, for us not to share what we've gone through. And so in the book, I'm very vulnerable. I talk about almost committing suicide. I talk about how it took years for me to get out of this debt, over a decade. And I talk about how I finally had to open up and be vulnerable to other people and trusting to build what I call my dream team.
Yeah.
And I think every person needs a dream team around them. I did not confide in my family. Initially, my mom found out a lot of this information in the book.
Well, let's talk. Let's rewind for a hot second. You said you've been through some things and you just wanted to commit suicide. Give us a little background on how you got to that point.
Well, I come from a very humble family. My grandfather taught us about saving, but you really don't have an understanding of the value of money and what it means. When I went to medical school, it took me more than 4 years to finish. I finished in 6 years. So I didn't have this concept of, oh, you don't take out all the loans because they say you can take them out. I just figured, oh, I'll be a doctor, I can pay the money back. And when I was a resident, they were wanting payment. And as residents, we don't make a lot of money. But instead of me facing that and saying, okay, let me call them, let me answer the phone to set up a payment plan, I was very close to finishing residency. And I said, oh, they'll wait till I become an attending. They'll wait till I'm making real money and I'll pay them then. But they didn't wait. And a lot of that thought process was behind, because I deal with depression and anxiety. And so I just was like, I kind of closed myself off and I just assumed I could wait, and I couldn't wait. And so they came after me with a vengeance where they ruined my credit. Wow. It went from like 700 down to a 380. I didn't even realize that existed.
Yeah.
And so all the harassing phone calls, you have to pay all of it now. And at this point, it was probably close to maybe over $250,000, $300,000 of debt. And with all the penalties, and by the time I finished, it was close to $400,000 that I ended up paying.
My God.
Yes, a lot of money.
So, but you didn't want to tell anybody you was going through this.
No, that's an embarrassment. My family's proud of me.
Yeah, I'm a doctor. They're proud of me. Look what I accomplished. But I got this debt.
And so I got all this debt. I'm about to finish, but I was suffering in silence.
Yeah.
And so one cold night, I was in my room. I was a resident. I was about 6 months away from finishing. And I was just looking at everything. And when you're depressed, nothing is positive.
Yeah.
I have all this debt. So all this negative thinking, stinking thinking is what I call it. And I had a 380 that was there for protection. And
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so I remember.
That's a pistol.
Yes, a 380 is a gun.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, a handgun. And I rocked in my bed wanting to end it all. And all I could think was say was Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. And the image he brought before me was my mother standing over my coffin. And I couldn't do it to her. It wasn't about me, but it was about I couldn't cause her that pain. And I can just remember wailing and crying because I wanted to end my own personal pain, but I couldn't cause her the pain.
Yeah.
And the sad thing is, I don't remember when I fell asleep. I don't remember how the handgun got back in my nightstand.
Sure.
But I do remember waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning because my alarm went off, dressing and going to work like nothing ever happened.
Wow.
That's the sadness because you're like, okay, if I tell someone what I almost did, they'll think I'm crazy.
And who knows what's going through the minds of people? You know, we talk to people like Phyllis Hyman and people, we wonder why they have done the ultimate, you know, take the only life that God has given you. But it's those situations.
Yes.
It's those situations and those times.
Yes. And thank God a mother's love saved me.
Yeah.
But I wanted people to know that it only takes a split moment of despair that you can just end it all. You know, that you don't see any hope. You know, people are like, oh, I could never do that. I'm a strong woman. I've been through a lot, but I had a dark moment.
Yeah.
And I almost left this earth. And I thank God for a mother's love for saving me.
Because God had another plan for you. God said,
he did.
Wait a minute, Tawanna. I've got something. Yeah, there you go. And you're helping others. Now you have the organization that you started called Cornerstone of Wellness, LLC. Talk about that a little bit.
So with Cornerstone of Wellness, I started this because mainly focusing on women, especially women who look like me. Mm-hmm. You know, in our communities, women are the foundation. You know, we keep the families together. We keep people organized. Of all this stuff on our shoulders. And if the foundation is fractured, if the cornerstone, you know, the Bible talks about the cornerstone, if the cornerstone is not strong, then how can you build?
That's right.
So with the foundation, my hope is to provide motivational speaking. I provide programs where I put on retreats for women of color to come together so we can pour into ourselves and to understand that we have to make ourselves a priority because you cannot give from an empty cup. You cannot. So I believe in what I call the saucer ministry. You know, you have a teacup and you put it on the saucer. You need to give from the overflow, right?
There you go. Talk about it. That's what's up.
So that's the purpose behind that.
Yeah. So someone who has a pretty demanding schedule, how do you find time to prioritize self-care and keep you know what? One of the things is the pen to the paper, right? That takes it out of the brain and puts it on paper. That's probably one of the ways. What do you think? What are some of the other ways?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I had a lot of health issues. I talk about that in the book as well. I'm non-clinical now. I don't deliver babies anymore. I don't get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, run into anybody's hospital anymore. That part of my life is over. So I work from home for a large insurance company. And when I got to the point of financial independence, and what financial independence looked like for me is that I had no debt. Everything was paid off, house, car, everything was taken care of. My family was secure, and I had a substantial financial portfolio. So at that point, I went to part-time. So I worked 3 days one week, 2 days another week. And so that other time, I'm able to pour into my other passions, like writing a book, speaking to young women, motivating, being on talk shows like this. So
no debt is sweet, isn't it?
It is sweet.
Because you worry, it comes with a little bit of worrying when you're thinking about, oh, this is coming up again, you know. But when you don't have to worry about that, you can become a little more creative.
You hit the nail on the head because debt shackles you. You know, when you have a lot of debt, you can't make smart decisions as far as your career. You get into a position where you feel like you're trapped, like, oh, I have to stay at this job. This is all I have because I owe all this money. But when you can get financial freedom, it truly frees you to be more creative and not carry that stress because acid destroys the container before it harms anyone else. People waking up with, all this debt on them, and they're worried about it. Stress affects the body.
Yes.
All these ailments, hypertension, diabetes, all these things are due from chronic stress and the overproduction of cortisol. I'm not going to get too deep into that.
No, I understand where you're going, but I got about a minute left, minute and a half.
Okay.
Tell us, how do you climb out and live debt-free? How do you, what are some of the steps? Give us a couple of tips.
Well, first thing, small intentional steps, they add up. Be intentional about what you're doing. Build a team around you. Find a good friend you can confide in who can be with you on the journey. Get an accountant. Find a financial advisor. There are so many free things out there people can help you. Start looking at why you're spending the way you're spending and do the work. If it's because of mental health and you're making bad decisions based on that, do the work to fix that. Whatever it is, pour into yourself and realize you are worth the journey.
And pray.
And pray, definitely.
Pray.
Keep the Lord first.
Pray about it.
That's right.
Give us your website and where we can get more information on what you're doing. Social media website?
Yes. You can go to my website. It's cornerstoneofwellness.com. You can find the book at my website if you'd like an autographed copy. You can also find me on Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, and the Audible will be out in a couple of weeks.
And look up Cornerstone in the Bible, too. Dr.
That's
Tawanna
right. Look
Gilliard.
it up.
Thank you. On the other side of greatness, lessons on the journey from 6 figures of debt to 7 figures of success. It's a beautiful thing. Tawanna, thank you. Doctor, we appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right. We'll take a break. I've got more coming up after this.
30 years of BronxNet, 4 years of modern Odyssey. Broadcasting stories that they may inspire you, untold or underreported stories. BronxNet, your story is heard. Thank you for your support. Thank you for watching Modern Odyssey on BronxNet.
I remember when the Bronx did not really have a media outlet properly representing the people of the Bronx.
BronxNet provides for the community by being a community where people can be empowered to share their voices.
We are in a really great place technologically. We've got all the resources that we need to be effective.
Whether it's through cameras, storytelling, editing, we have provided those services for 30 years.
BronxNet's mission is to be a voice for the community.
To educate, to inform, and to inspire.
And you can be a part of it. We've built studios for you.
And welcome back. Our last guest is a national best-selling and award-winning author of 10 novels, children's books, and short stories. Well, she's the founder also of Virtuous Con, and she joins us to speak about how Virtuous Con is helping creatives and writers highlight an upcoming comic convention and so much more. So please welcome to the show, Cerece Rennie Murphy. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hello.
How
Thanks
are
so
you?
much for having me. I'm great.
Didn't I speak I spoke to you a little while ago, didn't I?
Just a little bit.
How are you? Where are you sitting right now? What town are you in?
I am in Columbia, Maryland, just outside of my hometown of Washington, D.C.
All right, all right. Well, thanks for checking in with us, and thanks for sharing what you're going to share with us. Tell us a little bit about you, how it all got started.
Oh my gosh. Well, I've been an avid reader since I was a little girl. So that's kind of started me on my journey of just loving books and reading and being a nerd. And then my mom took me to see the Empire Strikes Back movie when I was a little girl in the Uptown Theater with my
Wait, that just
sister.
came out. What do you mean when you were a little girl?
That's right. I'm dating myself just a little bit. But those two things, just I've been a sci-fi fan ever since, and I'm a reader, and so those two things kind of came together into me writing my first novel, and then it just sort of spiraled from there in a wonderful way.
But that's the thing that sparked your interest.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And what can you tell us about the Virtuous Con?
Oh my gosh, Virtuous Con is an online sci-fi convention that focuses on Black and Brown creators in speculative fiction in comics, books, film, visual arts. Just an amazing collection of incredible talent by independent creators who are really creating just such expansive worlds to inspire and inform us. And so we're really excited to be able to create an entire convention that celebrates them. We've got some amazing guests coming up, people who are leaders in their field, pioneers. You know, so often we think Black and Brown people are not in the speculative fiction creative space. And not only are we here, we are leading. And it's just so inspiring. And I just wanted to create a space where we could highlight that for people to be in, for, you know, budding, aspiring creators to understand that they can do this, but also to support all the amazing people that are doing it. And it can be hard to find us sometimes. So
And that's coming up in February, right? 2024.
That is correct. That is correct. February, it's an online convention. So from wherever you are in the world, February 23rd through the 25th, you're going to have 2 days of amazing panels. You're going to get to meet over 30 independent creators. Like I said, in comics, books, visual arts, you know, you name it, we have it. And just be inspired. And you know, it's a lot of kid-friendly, family-friendly content, so you don't have to worry about anything sort of crazy popping up. Come, bring your kids. If your kid's interested in art or interested in writing, they're going to get to actually meet creators. It's an interactive space. You actually get to talk to the creators. It's not like, you know, some links and this, that, and the other. You're actually seeing them, meeting them, and you can buy directly from them and support them.
Lots of artists and creatives right there. How important is Virtuous Con for biopic and for artists and creatives?
You know, the biggest challenge that independent creators have is letting people know that we exist. And so Virtuous Con is about it. The reason it's called Virtuous Con, it's about that virtuous circle of artists helping artists and fans helping artists and artists inspiring fans. So it's essential to be able to have people understand that we're out there, to get to know our work and what we're contributing to the field. And so, you know, we hope at Virtuous Con, we're just making it easier for fans and creators to connect and support each other and inspire each other.
Yeah, now there's something out there that that's helping creatives and writers improve their craft. NaNoWriMo?
Oh, NaNoWriMo, yes.
NaNoWriMo.
Finished. That's okay. That's okay. Yes, it's a wonderful. I don't know how long NaNoWriMo's been going on.
Say that 5 times. NaNoWriMo.
I know, right? But it allows, you know, aspiring writers and, you know, even established writers all come together at NaNoWriMo to hold each other accountable for finishing, starting, drafting their books and their creations. It's a great sort of community.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, and it just.
And you're very excited about this whole thing. How long have you been involved with this?
You know, Virtuous Con started in 2020 as a reaction to, you know, what I was seeing with, first of all, you know, we were all shut down, and the conventions that were happening, there were just links. There was no interactivity. And particularly, you know, that was true of the whole field. But I definitely saw independent creators of color really struggling to to do what we do and help people um, understand and know about our work. And
Yeah.
so Virtuous Con was started there, but I also believe it's about creating and supporting and inspiring our community. And so many independent creators are doing such expansive stories that are featuring people of color, featuring people who are, um, diverse in every possible way, from ability to cognitive, just so many different expansive
Yeah.
stories that often you don't see. I always like to say, I get tired of the mad, bad, sad story about people of color, and independent creators are offering an expansive alternative to that. And I
Yeah.
just, I really love it.
What's you have a great body of work here,
Mhm.
and you're proud of it all. We're proud of you too. But what
Thank
stands out in your mind? What touches you? What just touched you in the
you.
right place to
Oh my
say, hey, this is
gosh.
one of my best pieces of work?
Okay, so it's like you can't choose one, but I'll start with my latest one, and my latest book is a children's story.
Uh-huh.
It's called Enchanted: Five Tales of Magic in the Everyday. And it's about the magic that children bring into our lives, whether you're a parent or a caregiver, aunt, cousin, doesn't, or a neighbor, and how children help us reconnect with the magic within ourselves. So that's my latest book.
Yeah.
It's five short stories, amazing, four amazing illustrators, each one illustrating a different story that really brings out the magic of each tale. So that's my latest, and I'm really excited about it. It's
Yeah.
been about 10 years in the making.
Yeah. Oh, it took you 10 years to do that one?
It did, because I started this. How the story came to me is I had a 3.5-year-old and a newborn.
Yeah.
And that 3.5-year-old, if you've ever taken care of a 3.5-year-old, you know that they are not listening.
Uh-huh.
But that's just because and I was just so stressed out. I was stressed out trying to keep him safe and happy and this and that and listening. And I just had lost my sense of humor. And I remember sitting in the kitchen, I'd sent him to timeout, and I was like, there's got to be something funny about this to me. And I was like, no, there's nothing funny about this. And I said, all right, Cerece, if it was a fantasy, what would be
Uh-huh.
happening? And I was like, immediately the story called The Dragon Slayer came to me, about a little boy who every time he has a temper tantrum, a dragon takes over his house until he realizes that he is the dragon, and he
Yeah.
needs to slay that dragon to learn to control his temper. And so that was the impetus for the book. But
Wow.
3.5-year-old and a newborn, it took a minute to actually put it all together. They're now 12 and 16.
Uh-huh.
It's but it's been something that's been in the back of my head, and I'm just excited to
Yeah,
have it out.
everything you were doing was like a full-time job. So
Yeah.
just picture 8 hours here, 8 hours here, 8 hours. Well, really 24 hours.
It really was. So
Yeah.
it took a minute, but I'm glad to have it out.
Oh, yeah. It feels good when you have it behind you. What do you tell people who want to get involved in this craft? What's some of the first things that they can do?
First of all, don't edit yourself. I mean, because, and what I mean by that is not like a book editor. I mean, allow yourself, give
Let it
yourself
flow.
permission to create. Yes, you knew where I was going immediately.
Yeah.
Because you know what? The world can shut you down, but the first person and most powerful person to shut you down is you. You can stop yourself before you ever start. So don't do that. It's okay that it's not perfect. Martha Stewart's not coming over your house to check. It's okay. Just get it out. Just get it out. Give yourself permission to suck, but to create. And you know what? Once you've created it, you can always make it better.
Yeah.
But if you don't start, you don't have anything to work with. So silence all the critics, create for the joy of it,
Yeah.
and then see where it goes.
God gave you
That-
2 feet. You got to start, put one foot in front of the other, then step to it.
That's what you have to
If
do.
you don't step to it, it will never, ever, ever happen. Then you're looking back and saying, why didn't I start this back then?
Exact. Perfection is not required.
Yeah.
Courage,
Courage.
ingenuity. That's all that's required. And you can do this. You can do this.
Look at some of the things here. Talk about these briefly, and then we're going to wrap it up.
Oh my gosh. All right. So Roya Coupe has an amazing comic that's coming out. He's also producing an animated series. So that's coming out. We've got Jocelyn Short, who's an amazing visual artist, and she's going to be at Virtuous Con. She also did the amazing art on our website. Oh my gosh, Rodney Barnes is a legend in the field. Luke Cage, Blackula. Like, he's doing all kinds of amazing things, and he's going to be at Virtuous Con. You're going to get to learn from a master. So yeah, those are just some of the things that can go on. But I just get so excited about our
We got a lot of
creators.
them. We could throw them up there.
Yeah, absolutely. I could run them down.
Anything coming up that we should know about? Who's this guy here?
Oh my gosh, Victor Lavelle. Oh my gosh. So he wrote a book called The Changeling that is now a series. And he's going to be talking about, that the challenge of transitioning from one medium to the other with your stories, and, the privilege of bringing expansive stories of people of color to not only fiction, but the screen. Rodney Barnes is the man. As I said, he is both a screenwriter, he's a comic graphic novels creator. He's been in this industry since, oh my gosh, for so long, and just brings so much talent that you're going to get to learn from.
Yeah. Is that virtual behind you, or is that the real background?
No, that's me. That's my Christmas tree that we got it up. We haven't quite decorated it yet, but it's the process. Kids had stuff to study for last night, so we just had to, Billy the tree is going to just sort of sit there for a minute.
Oh, that's one for Christmas. Oh, Billy the tree.
Billy the tree. We name our Christmas trees. It's a little extra, but hey, I'm a creative, so we can do what we want.
So you guys are going to trim it up tonight and hook it up. Give us your website and everything.
Sure.
Social media.
If you want to learn more about Virtuous Con, it's virtuouscon.com. My books, Enchanted, 5 Tales of Magic in the Everyday, you can get at CereceRennieMurphy.com. Amazon, Barnes & Noble.
Cerece Rennie Murphy, author and founder of Virtuous Con. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
We appreciate you. I guess this is going to wrap up. Thank you so much for joining us. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today's show. But before we go, we're excited to invite you to be a part of a special movement that allows us to continue bringing valuable programming right to your TV set. And you can make a real impact by providing access to production studios, tech equipment, professional development for our youth and adults. It's very amazing. A lot of people are tuning in and checking it out, and they're sending things in. So let's build a brighter future together. You can donate now to help make the Bronx a better place for all of us by visiting bronxnet.org/donate. We appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you. And thank you for letting us share in this space and time with you. For all of us here at BronxNet, we appreciate you and love you. And always remember this: what you are is God's gift to you. What you make of yourself is your gift to God. So choose your choice and let your choice control the chooser. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee. I'll catch you another day, another way. And I'll see you over 107.5 WVLS. I love you all.